This podcast is part of the Podcast Your Scene Network. Visit us at www.podcastyourscene.com.
You know, the local media has an agenda that they're going to serve. I don't know who's in charge of it or what it is, if it's like a headless monster.
Why? Is a question.
Walking backwards. Something
I
sacred.
don't know the names of the creep songs. Those are
Running in
CDs you
circles.
Just pop in and let play.
Sea of Glass.
The flight and the fall.
I love Ozzy. I think he's the true definition of a rock star.
So turn off on your speakers.
Anybody else have any interesting stories they don't want on the show?
Dog from after the fall.
Hey, this is John Lane from the Thriving Metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock that Pennsylvania has to offer.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, you're tuned in to the Pennsylvania Rock Show featuring the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer right here on PARockShow.com, MegaRockRadio.net, and 107.1 KFGD St. Louis, Missouri. Also on the West Coast, the beaches of San Diego, California, we have RootarooRadio.com. Coming back into Pennsylvania, we have OldiesXL.com out of Philadelphia. Headed across the pond to Scotland, xrpradio.co.uk. Right here in the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania on buildthescene.com. Live video on music from the 412.com. And I'm sure I forgot its station, but we'll deal with that. With me tonight on episode number 657 are four of the five members of the band Johnny and the Razor Blades. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey,
What's up?
how you doing? Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So let's start with, I'm going to give you that cliche band question right off the top. Where did the band name come from?
So we when we started playing, we were very influenced by 50s music, so that we wanted to have like an older sounding band name. I worked at a custom frame shop, so I did like custom picture frames, and there was a sign that said "Do not put razor blades in the trash can." With the misspelling of razor blades, instead of two words, it was one word. So that's how we kept it. I didn't like I like, oh, razor blades don't belong in the trash can. That's it. That's us. So that's how it came.
I also noticed, out of left field here. So Mike and I put in the extra descriptions, and beat maker, rump shaker. Does that mean you play bass, Mike?
It means it could mean
drums?
many things. Whatever you want it to mean.
Mine is an inside joke that only two people will get, and the other person won't watch it. So
I couldn't tell if it was so long it cut the rest off, or if it's just supposed to be duct tape.
It says duct tape.
Yeah. Dot. Sean loves a dot. He every time for years. I swear to God, every time he would send a text, no matter what it was, dot at the end. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, he could just be like, hey, dot. Like, what are you trying to do, Sean? I don't know. Anybody remember that?
Yeah, I do. It was on his MySpace page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right, so the duct tape thing. I used to teach with someone who said that I was like duct tape because every time there was a problem, I fixed it. Duct tape.
Well, man, that's good. That's good.
Hey, Illusions of Grandeur are hanging out in somewhere in the cyberspace, saying hello to everybody.
Hello, Illusions.
What's up?
There's a Philly-ish based band.
Cool.
They played at Subalpine recently. So
oh yeah,
they played.
We got a show coming up there.
April.
What was that? That was March 24th.
March.
with God Hates Unicorns.
I could possibly end up there if I work my magic with them and convince them to have me take pictures.
Nice.
I just saw the picture for them. That was great.
Oh, their promo shots.
Yep.
My favorite out of those were the ones at the color park with all the graffiti, but I feel like they like the pajama shots better.
That's probably what
I mean, it has to be way more comfortable. I mean, pajamas are great.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like them? Yeah.
Okay, so you recently put out a album called Lineup with an interesting album art. Tell us a little bit about how. Well, first of all, Johnny, you have your own studio, right?
Yes.
And I assume that's where you guys record it.
No, we outsourced it. His stuff is not great, you know. Just kidding.
Ouch.
Just kidding.
But give me some studio stories with this album. What are some interesting things that happened while you were recording?
So that record was recorded live. So literally that whole album is done live, with the only overdubs being like we overdub acoustic guitar, and all of the vocals were overdone, but everything on it is live.
I did not realize that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we did all the tracking in one day.
So like, that whole record was entirely tracked in a weekend.
Yeah. We weren't going to do it live, and then Bill O'Reilly yelled at us and made us.
All of like the music tracks were done on a Saturday. Vocal tracks were done on the Sunday.
Cool. I feel like. Why is he saying? Huh. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Illusions of Grandeur is saying that the sound went out, but we're gonna hope
for everybody or just you, or
I'm assuming them, but they're on Facebook.
We got to brush up on our sign language now, guys. At least we're still on video, so let's figure this out.
More.
They're on Facebook. Facebook may have randomly muted us.
Maybe. I say Bill O'Reilly. They're like, nope. I ain't gonna have that.
Rocky is texting me. I told you, he's probably gonna yell at me. I don't know what that is. Wasn't Rocky.
No.
It's somebody texting me about a show at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar.
Oh, we played there a few times. Actually, we played recently. Played the new they built on next door
in the theater. Yep.
Yeah.
That was cool. I actually redid their website and do a lot of their social media. So
I can't remember the owner's name. He's really cool though. I like him a lot.
Barry White.
Barry White. Yeah. Barry.
How do you forget that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But I won't forget it now.
So I asked the studio question so I could segue into a different question, but your answer didn't kind of work, so I'm just going to throw it at you.
Okay.
So the question is, what's the best pizza you've ever had because you're a musician? So like you have to link it to like yeah, but it has to be music related. Have you gone to Minio's before or after a show? Have you ordered it into the studio?
Every band that comes here, and if they're not familiar with it, I try to get them to go. I know when the Jasons are here, we go to Minio's over the weekend.
Juliana.
Far as music related, I guess there's a few choices. There's that I can't remember the name of the pizza joint, but the one that was right across the street from Howler's.
Yeah,
that was good. We would always go across the street to get pizza there. I can't remember the name.
Remember the name? It was just across from Howler's.
Yeah, but that was good. When we played the Sub Alpine, I think right down the road is so
that's Shelly Pie.
Shelly Pie, and I think we Or no, I didn't eat there, but I think next time we'll. And then, what is it? Spirit or Cativo that has that pizza place in the basement next, like connected to
that's
it?
Spirit, and
that was
the
that's
pizza
good
place
pizza.
that was next to the Rex too that we used to go to.
Yeah.
The one that was
It
built.
seems like every good venue has a good pizza place next to it, and I don't think that's an accident. So it's a good planning, Pittsburgh.
We're talking about Squirrel Hill. They have a Chinese store or restaurant right next door.
Yeah, but if you're willing to walk, Minio's and Aiello's are right up the street. So
Are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've
Right
never
up.
had Minio's. So the next time I'm
You
there, I'm
are
gonna have to-
missing out, man.
Now keep in mind, I do live like 50 minutes from there, so it's not like
We've
No
played Leechburg
excuse.
Pool. We know all
you
about it.
played at Leechburg Pool.
Yeah.
That was not cool. That was not fun.
This
That's
is no
like-
joke.
It just,
We played 2 songs and they said okay because it was supposed to be a supporting lineup for whatever major band they had there, and we apparently were playing better than the major band that they had, and they literally cut us off mid song and said, "You guys are done. We can't have you keep playing."
Huh.
Yeah, we learned after that, if it ever happens again, we're just going to play the rest of our set with no breaks.
Yeah, I don't know
Do
why
the whole
we just
thing
said.
until they stop us.
I don't know why we just said okay, no problem. I think I had my full drum set and everything. I mean,
Yeah,
it took way longer to set up than to actually play our set. It was terrible.
Did they at least let you swim?
No, I mean, they would have probably forcefully made us swim if we didn't stop playing. So, I mean, maybe we could have got a free swim out of it. But, yeah, we played Leechburg. We played, East Vandergrift, right down the road.
Yeah.
That's close, right?
Yep.
Played who we play there? The VFW?
Yeah,
We played something there.
the East Vandergrift VFW. We played there a lot with like Hormones, and there was a band called HGM. What was it? And there was that metal guy. I forget his name, but he was just everything was about metal. He liked us. So that was
I forgot about that. Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
He's just he kind of reminded me of like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. He's like metal, everything metal. I love metal. Like that's how he talks for real. Like
there was a band on that show named Jesse and the Rippers, and they were selling necklaces.
They didn't rip that off at all.
Oh,
Not at all.
Original.
Yeah.
But there were necklaces being sold that said JATR, and people were like, "Is this Jesse and the Rippers or Johnny and the Razor Blades?" We're not sure.
Ah. Well, I mean, you could rip them off. I mean,
I know. It's just a circle of ripping off. So,
but Leechburg Pool's maybe 5 minutes from where I'm sitting right now, and East Vandergrift's probably 10 minutes from where I am.
and what's the other town? We play another city up there.
New Kensington, maybe.
We've played there before.
Maybe,
Sidebar.
Apollo, Tarentum. Sidebar is Katanning, except it's not called that anymore.
Katanning.
That is Heroes Bar and Grill now. That is actually owned by the bass player and singer of A Common Crown, and
cool.
And Steve, the bass player, also plays in After the Fall, and then they play in Strung Over, who I'm going to talk about later, in the concert calendar segment after this show is over. So yeah,
cool.
Steve's band Hybrid, way back in the early '90s, is what got me started in all of this.
Oh yeah, nice. That's cool.
Let's get. I'm going to ask you one more question, then we're going to talk about your song and we'll take a break. This is the official Build a Scene question. It's who's your Dave Grohl? In other words, what band do you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their originals?
Except I can't play guitar that well.
Oh man.
What do you think? What do you got, Sean?
I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank.
Wait. So, who?
What?
So the Foo Fighters are known for bringing people up on stage
right.
and letting them perform. So, what band would you like to go up on stage with and perform with?
Probably the Foo Fighters. They're really cool guys. Let me think. Well, I know John's answer. If they were still around and alive, Exploding Hearts, I would imagine. Unless, can we go back? Does that have to be current? Or can it
You
be
can
like
go back. Usually, I
any
ask a
time?
DeLorean question before this with the time machine,
Yeah.
but I didn't yet.
Yeah, I mean, the Exploding Hearts would be a good one for me, but I mean, some of the other people, like Paul Collins beat. I mean, I wouldn't want to screw up any of their songs. I would love to do that.
If I got called up to play drums for Green Day, I think that because they are so fun live and just like seem like really cool guys, I think that'd be really fun.
I mean, to be fair, like Green Day, there's a reason. Green Day is a big influence on us in particular. Like we play a half step down because Nirvana and Green Day played a half step down. That's why my guitar started being tuned down that way. I would probably go Green Day now as far as a current band.
Yeah, I was going to say Green Day too, but only because I wanted to do, since I learned the whole thing, I'd want to do Jesus of Suburbia and just really milk it on that 10-minute song.
Can I just do one song? Thinking this one.
Just have you guys ever played with Neostem?
Yeah, I record them.
Yeah, you've seen Ryan's guitar is signed by Kurt Cobain, right?
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that.
Sticker. Yeah.
Is it a sticker?
Yeah.
See, I always see it in the dark and behind a lens. So.
Well, he signed the sticker, sort of.
Maybe.
I mean, it's close. Close, maybe.
Sticker
has a signature one way or the other.
So, the song that we're going to feature tonight is Fade Away. What can you tell me about that? This is like a MTV storyteller's moment for you.
Well, it is a song about not wanting to get old, essentially.
We're losing that battle.
Yeah, that's basically where it came from. Is I'm paranoid about getting old and basically fading away. That's it for me. So that it made it on the X's Winter Rock Showcase thing. So was it what?
Or it was a hometown 21 for the holidays.
Well, yeah, hometown for the holidays. For all of December, they played it on the X. But yeah, I mean that's really it. It's very power pop, but it's in the stylistic ways of Green Day, if you will, with lots of harmonies and whatnot. Yeah, I mean that's really it. Like again, was recorded live minus the vocals.
Yeah, I can tell you the bass line for that song. George from the Jasons had given it 3D from the Jasons gave a compliment on a song from the first album. He's like, oh, so this bass line is him telling everyone to put their bass down. I was like, oh, Sean wrote that bass line. So after that, I was like they had that when I joined. So all right, I want to write a bass line that's like, okay, put your bass down. This is my bass line. So that just lit a fire in me to try to do that. I don't know if I did it or not, but that's what I was going for. So it's a very busy, but it works.
I think that song came together fairly quickly too, because usually the way it works is John's like, "Hey, check us out," and he starts playing a song, and then we jump in and kind of add to it, and then usually after a couple of runs, we have like the basis of it down, and then we'll just kind of add like the pauses and things like that, and then John always kind of formulates like the harmonies, like, oh, try this or you do this, and yeah, I think pretty soon after we started playing it, we realized I think we were onto something. Like, man, this is fun to play. It's catchy. I think we got some here. So
yeah, that and Broken Hearted were the last two for that album. Like Fade Away was written before we just kind of needed a song. It came together, and like Mike's saying, like when a new song's coming in, John brings in the structure. We'll do 2 or 3 passes. If it's working, we'll keep it. And then usually the ultimate test, if we remember it next practice, we keep it. There's been a bunch of songs like, what was that new song? Like, I don't know. I don't remember. So those ones don't make it, but this one made it.
Well, now it's even harder because it's so hard to get a practice with all of us. So the next practice might be like 3 months later. So if we can remember, it's a really good song if we remember the next practice.
Yeah, four of us are dads now, so it's rough schedule wise.
Something I realized I forgot to do on the intro. I forgot to mention the 2 songs that we listened to before we came on. So the very first song was by Drown the Deep. It's a brand new song, unreleased as of yet. It's called Black Sun Drive. And then right after that, you heard Droid by the Perishables. And then we started talking. And what we're going to do now is we're going to play 2 tracks and we'll come back. We're going to play that's later. We're going to play Storms Within Endgame. And then we're going to play Fade Away by Johnny and the Razorblades. We will be right back. Hey, it's Bill. You're tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show. We just heard 2 tracks. The very last one you heard before we came back was Johnny and the Razorblades Fade Away, who are hanging out with me. And right before that was Storms Within Endgame. We have probably about another 13 to 14 minutes where we're going to chat with these guys. We have some more music coming for you later. I'm going to mention that now just in case I forget, like I did at the beginning of the show. What we're going to hear after we're done talking here is a new track from Theriaca called Never Enough, featuring Mike Ofka. And we're also going to hear The Fall of Me and their song Morning. So I might remember later, I might not. So you guys remember when we get there.
We'll do our best.
So I haven't really asked you. I mean, I've asked you some of my odd questions, but not the odd ones like this one. So there is an apocalyptic event. It wipes out almost all the humans, almost all the humans on Earth, and all but one song from every band. Which Johnny and the Razorblades song should survive and help repopulate the Earth?
Well, let me make you come. And self-explanatory.
I'd probably pick Saturday Night. It has a little bit of everything we do, kind of all in one song. Yeah, and that's the song that kicks off the third album lineup. So I'd probably go with that.
I'd probably go with Broken Hearted, just because I need more melodies and I need more harmonies. And if I could figure out a song of ours that doesn't have a guitar solo, I would have picked that one. But that's only because I don't want guitar solos. If in a new world, if I could eliminate guitar solos, that's what I would do.
Personally, I'd probably pick King of the Walk, only because I like all of the instruments that are in it. We don't actually have many songs that have other things other than guitar and bass, so that one has like a mixture of everything in it.
Are you in a submarine, Sean? What's going on?
Probably stupid headphones.
And blowing on.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the apocalypse is now. He's in it. He's in a dungeon. Look at it. It's always dark every time when you're on a video chat. You're only
So Sean's politicking a little bit. So King of the Walk has horns on it from Inco Fido. Sean also plays in Inco Fido, so he's working both bands at the same time.
Yeah, so
cheap
yeah,
pop,
maybe a
cheap
little
pop.
biased.
Sorry, my daughter just walked in.
It's all good.
On the bright side, she brought me a brownie.
That's always
I mean, that is certainly a bright side.
I wish somebody would bring me a brownie.
So Kiss has played in a bay in Australia to Great White Sharks. Metallica has played in Antarctica in a big dome. What non-standard venue would Johnny and the Razor Blades like to play at? So you can pick anywhere.
Well, how about an Igloo? The acoustics got to be pretty slamming.
It'll be warm in there.
I don't know. I mean, Penguins, Pittsburgh, Igloo. It's unconventional.
I think they tore that down, didn't they?
Well, not that one. We'll play a different one.
They tore the real one down, but the memory still stands.
We'll make them build us a new one to play in.
Oh, there you go.
How about that? Unconventional.
We will play a show in your head through dream syndication.
we will astral project into your consciousness.
There you go.
So you know how the Beatles played on the rooftop? I'd want to one up that. I'd want us to play at the top of the Grand Canyon, and then the crowd is at the bottom. And they just look up while we're playing.
Or we play in the bottom, and they have to be on top.
Nah, don't get too excited and jump in.
We'll have some mats on the bottom.
Imagine the reverb.
Oh man, we might cause like a earthquake or something.
If you could sit down with any 4 people in the history of the world for dinner, who are you inviting to that table?
Wow. Should we all pick a person, or what do you think?
You could each pick 4, or each of you could pick one. It's up to you.
You get first, Sean. I'm putting you on the spot. You got to talk.
He's got to put me on the spot.
I can't the apocalypse, Sean.
It's all people from the Navy.
The idea is you got to pick 4 people who hate each other so you can watch them fight and argue. That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep, though.
I mean,
what about you, Dan? Somebody.
Okay. Just because I want to see these 4 people talk. Because they have to be real people.
And now I'm really confused.
He's going to pick cartoons.
You're going to pick cartoon characters? You can do
Shut
that.
It would still be interesting.
John Lennon, Kurt Cobain, Henry Rollins, and Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Speaking of the Ninja Turtles, my other daughter walked in the room the other day and she's like, hey, the new Ninja Turtles have nothing on the original ones.
All right.
Big facts.
And so now I want to know where she saw the original ones, but that was awesome.
Completely agree.
Anybody else want to touch that question?
Oh, man. There's a lot of people, but it'd be tough to do. Like, I don't know, I'm real big on context. So, like, maybe like one of the founding fathers, just like, what were you doing? What was going on?
I withdraw my Raphael, and I now input George Carlin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him.
Let me throw. I'll pick Mitch Hedberg because you got to have some comedy at the dinner table. JFK, just to see what he was getting himself into to kind of get himself out. Maybe Lincoln, same thing. Pretty much anybody who had to get assassinated, like what was going on for them to want to kill you?
Had to get assassinated.
You know, like I don't know. Well, I guess with John Wilkes Booth, or not John Wilkes Booth. I guess he was just. I don't even really know the story. What is it? Why do you shoot Lincoln? Anybody know?
I would assume it had to do with the Emancipation Proclamation, but I don't know for sure.
So I guess
they thought he was a tyrant. There was a lot of like rights suspended during the war. A lot of stuff like that. Like I always like the Simpsons answer, or like a who's taking a citizenship test, and they ask, what were the causes of the Civil War? Like, well, there are many causes, ranging from like just say slavery. Like slavery it is. So
I'll throw Randy Marsh in there too, just because it'd be fun.
All right, so you guys piqued a question in my mind right there. I was teaching social studies a couple years ago, and there was a picture of this guy who died in the 50s who looks exactly like my college roommate. So the question is, I'm flipping through a social studies book in a couple years, and Johnny and the Razor Blades are in there. How did you get there?
Sean, submarine.
Sean slaughtered us somehow.
I don't know. I think Chaz isn't here, but he got into some like heated political debate and then ended communism throughout the world through his wonderful.
No, he wouldn't act.
vocals.
Wouldn't end
it. No, he's more of a Bernie guy. He's not, he's all for one,
Gotcha.
I don't know. Chad's like, what I miss? Like, well, Dad called you a communist. Like,
he's not surprised.
Poor Chad.
That'll go over well.
I know. How do you explain that one?
Chaz and I argue politics so often in a group chat we have. It's not even a band chat. It's a chat with a bunch of friends that, like, anytime we would start, the rest of the chat would just shut us down immediately. So.
Hey, so on the screen in the video, I popped up johnnyandtherazorblades.com. Where can the listeners find you guys? We talked about Facebook. We talked about that specifically, johnnyandtherazorblades.com, because they can go buy your merch there. But where else can they find you?
Bandcamp, so johnnyandtherazorblades.bandcamp.com. They can get stuff there. Obviously, the Johnny and the Razor Blades website, that'll get them the physical media, T-shirts, whatever. I'll mail it out next day once I get the order. You can stream it like everything else. But preferably, if you want a physical copy, that's the way you go about it.
Yeah, obviously we'd appreciate any listen. Direct support goes a long way. You know how it goes. So.
Yeah, we could finally, if we sell enough records, we could get Sean a decent pair of headphones so he can get out of the ocean.
Sorry.
The ocean. It almost sounds like he's in a room with a metal roof and it's pouring.
Yes. Sean, you're like an IT guy. You should have all the latest and greatest.
Oh.
Dan's acting Sean right now. I don't know.
Some like 1989.
Is that even better now?
That is way worse.
No.
Oh, well.
No, leave it.
You just drop like 3 knots down or whatever.
No, whatever the background noise was, it was gone. Don't listen to them.
I'll just hear your heavy breathing.
That might be me.
No, it's definitely him. See? Yeah.
All right, so what do you guys have coming up next?
We have a show at the Subalpine, March 24th with God Hates Unicorns. There's a show April 1st at Porky's with the Cheats, Dichotomy, and Whiskey Bats. Then we have Halfway to Half Covered Halloween, where every band is playing as Weezer and doing a different album from Weezer. There's Ryan and Luke from 500 Miles to Memphis. They should be doing Pinkerton. Stereo Scandal is doing the Green Album. Subarctic Beach Party. I don't remember what record they're doing. Is it Red? Might be Red. No. Maladroit. They're doing Maladroit. Kelsey Bad Grammar is there. They're doing the White Album, and we are doing the Blue Album.
That might be the best band name ever.
Yeah, I like
they're coming from. I think they're traveling. I think they're coming from Ohio.
So we're kind of at that point where I'm going to see you guys off, and thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And we're going to play some more music. Like I mentioned, Thoriaca's Never Enough featuring Mike Ofka and the Follow Me's track Morning. And then you're going to see, those of you that are watching us live, you're going to see some videos, and you're going to get to watch the concert calendar segment for weeks 2 and 3 of February. When the show ends, whether you're watching us live or you are listening to the podcast radio show, make sure you stay where you are, because you might hear your next favorite band. And you wouldn't get that chance if you didn't. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out on episode 657 with me.
Ah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. With that said, we are going to go ahead and play. My computer just went crazy on me. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and play the concert calendar, and we will be right back. Oh, nothing is cooperating right now. For those of you, this is why it's live, and you know it's live. Here we go.
This episode of the Pennsylvania Rock Show has ended, but be sure to subscribe to be introduced to more of the best on-sign rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer. Don't forget to rate and review the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.